Me and Caitlin have been playing against each other since we were kids. It's just a full circle moment of how women are viewed when it comes to trash talking, and it's okay in men's sports, so we're going to normalize that in women's sports as well. So it's just super competitive. I think we're two great competitors. We brought a lot of fans to this league, and I think we're going to continue to do that, and one day, hopefully, we can be teammates.
The Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese rivalry has been a central WNBA storyline this season. The two most watched games have been between Clark's Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky, Reese's team, even though both players are rookies. And they've received a tremendous amount of media coverage and discussion on sports media shows. Much of that conversation has focused on whether the WNBA has been sufficiently grateful for the attention Clark has brought to the league.
How misconceived is your relationship with Caitlin Clark?
Say it again?
Misconceived. How misconceived?
Oh, I love
is y'all?
Caitlin. I mean, we were just talking about that. Me and her have always been competing each other since we were in high school and just AAU days. I mean, I love that. And hopefully one day we can even be teammates.
Or if Reese and others are jealous of her blossoming stardom. The attention echoes the Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson rivalry that helped spur the growth of the NBA in the 1980s. The clashing of great players is essential to sports.
Obviously, people don't understand, like, if they think it's personal. But when I get between the lines, if friends or anything, if my teammate right here went to play for another team, I'm going to be competitive. I'm going to talk trash to her just because I'm super competitive, and that's what we do.
And has defined the men's game for decades. Bill Russell versus Wilt Chamberlain, Shaquille O'Neal versus Hakeem Olajuwon, Michael Jordan versus Isaiah Thomas, LeBron James versus Stephen Curry. Rivalries can often involve a bit of class, region, and race.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to the pressure that she probably feels on the weight of her shoulders, and that's a lot to deal with somebody that's 22 years old and has that many eyeballs on her, and being able to manage that. And I know she probably has a lot of people around her that help her, and that's definitely something unique because there's not a lot of people that probably understand the way she's feeling all the time. So I have a lot of empathy for her, and what she's been able to go through, and what she's been able to do for our game is been amazing, and really uplift our game, inspire a lot of young girls to want to be like her, and give them somebody to look up to. So that's been really cool to watch as well.
Nonetheless, they usually come down to the one-on-one competition itself. This is what makes the Clark-Reese comparison so odd. Many basketball rivals play the same position or at least inhabit similar parts of the court. To oversimplify, post players who stay closer to the basket are usually compared with other post players.
It's fun. I have somebody to go back and forth with. A lot of times some players don't even say anything back, so it's no fun. But I know me and Caitlin will go at it if anything. Just out of competition, though. She wants to win, I want to win, and we're both just two great players that want to compete.
Clark's brashness had become the subject of some conversation. It reached an even higher level in the semifinals when Clark, playing for the University of Iowa, made a dismissive gesture toward the University of South Carolina's Raven Johnson.
Super competitive and has that same drive and will to win. That's what you love. That's what competitors love. These type of games is what makes our game so great. It's what people want to turn on the TV and watch. I expect the viewership numbers to be through the roof for this.
Not bothering to guard her at the three-point line. In the final game, in which Louisiana State University beat Iowa, Reese celebrated at Clark's expense, waving her hand in front of her face, a move that Clark herself has made, perhaps to mean that her opponent couldn't see her. Reese also pointed to her ring finger.
But off the court, we're going to kick in and have fun. So I think that's a part of the game, and just trying to normalize, like, trash talking is okay, but not taking it personal off the court. And obviously that has become a thing, and people are just trying to make it seem like it's something. But I love Caitlin, and I love her game, and I admire everything that she's done.
Seemingly signifying the championship ring coming to her. Rather than this being treated as a passing moment in the heat of competition, Reese was called classless and worse than an idiot by one commentator. Reese said that she received racist messages.
How do you handle the comparison off the court?
I try to separate myself from everybody else and try to be me and not focus on what everybody else is doing. I think that's why people love me for who I am, is because I'm not the same as the next person. And I think that's special.
And condemnation of her exploded on social media, leading many athletes and commentators, including Clark, to come to Reese's defense. Clark is a great player and is having a rookie season for the ages. But some Clark supporters have not stopped at lauding her greatness. They've also taken to discrediting Reese's accomplishments to make Clark stand out all the more.
Was it to see her come to bat for you
Yeah.
after the national?
Yeah, I mean, everybody thinks that we're at each other, but me and her know, and that's all that matters. I don't care about anything that's negative. When you know the person and you know that what their genuine intentions are, and just being able to know that we did something big, and just being able to know we grew women's basketball, but then that's all that matters. And we play against each other again. We're going to compete again and always have fun after. So I'm just having fun, just being competitive as I always have.
For example, Reese recently broke the record for most rebounds in a season by any WNBA player. Some people argued wrongly that the only reason she had the record was because she rebounded her own missed shots. To be clear, I don't blame either Clark or Reese for this nonsense. As much as sports are an opportunity to bring people together in the celebration of acts of athletic prowess, they can also reveal the darker parts of our nature. After the 2020 European Championship,
You don't want the same person. You don't want everybody to be the same. And just to being able to step out of my comfort zone and being able to speak on things that a lot of others may not be wanting to speak on, or just being able to do things a lot of people are scared to do. I think being able to wake up every day and know that I inspire a lot of young women is just something I look forward to do.
3 black players for the English national soccer team were subjected to racist harassment after they missed penalty kicks. In 2023, the University of Alabama condemned some of their own fans' chants that were directed at 3 black football players from the University of Texas. This year, the University of Utah women's basketball team had to switch where they were staying before an N.C.A. tournament game because of hate speech they endured while staying at a hotel. A recent injury ended Reese's season. I am hoping that next year we can do better than having to praise one player at the expense of another. We could do what we usually do in the men's game, pit these two against players who play similar positions to them. There are plenty of better fits available. Arik Ogunbowale, the 2-time WNBA All-Star Game Most Valuable Player, is a guard who is not far behind Clark in 3-pointers made. A better comparison for Reese would actually be Clark's teammate and fellow All-Star Aaliyah Boston. Sports media could also provide more coverage for 2-time MVP, back-to-back WNBA champion Aja Wilson. The WNBA has plenty of storylines if we are not too lazy to seek them out. One thing that Black people in America learned long ago is that just because the culture creates a narrative about you, we don't have to follow it. I trust that these 2 women will find a way to tell their own stories. It's up to us to listen. Chicago Sky starlet Angel Reese insisted that she would love to be Caitlin Clark's teammate in the WNBA in the future, as she hailed her peer as a great competitor. The pair both have been instrumental in the rise of the popularity of women's basketball in recent years, from their college days through to their emergence on the professional scene. The rookies have drawn comparisons with legends Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, who enjoyed a fierce rivalry in the NBA after facing off in the NCAA. The pair faced each other on 4 occasions during the campaign, with their rivalry a major talking point throughout what was a landmark season for the warring duo. Now, Reese has reflected on the intrigue surrounding her relationship with Clark, telling the Wall Street Journal,